a while, so I thought that we would catch up on the market that I participated in, the Shopify, if I can speak, Shopify, and things that I'm making for upcoming markets. Hi, welcome and welcome back. I am EJ, the owner behind EJ's Creations. I have an online store and I do some markets. Since moving to Oregon, it has been a little bit of a challenge getting into markets. So that's why I say some markets. But let's go ahead and let's dive into this because it's going to be a lengthy video. So let's talk about the market. I participated in a high school bazaar. That was the very first one that I had that I was vending at. And I don't know, it could be many factors. It could have been that there were several of us that had similar items that we made. It could have been the high school that itself, the area itself, who knows? But I made a little bit of a profit on that market. But I was disappointed because that was my first market. I didn't know what to, I really didn't have high expectations, but everyone that I talked to, other vendors, always raved about high school bazaar. And I just don't see it. I'm sorry, I don't see it. And because it was my first time, I did not know what I can bring as far as displays or what have you, because I just rented the 2 tables they gave us, and that's where we sat. And I just brought minimal display items because, again, I didn't know. But when I got there, when I arrived, I saw people with shelves and they're behind the table and shelves on top of the table. And I didn't know that we could do those things. So would I participate in another high school bazaar? Probably not. Like I said, I broke even. And thankfully, that's just all because there were other vendors there that had amazing products, and we all had almost the same thing. Mine were like, they had pouches, I had pouches, but mine were slightly different because I did different things to them, right? And because of that, I was able to sell those at regular price that they are online. Normally when I do markets, I will reduce it a little bit just so that they get a deal. But because they're not paying, they're not paying for the website and the shipping and all that other stuff. So I try to give them a deal. So the one thing that was very popular in my booth were bowl cozies, and then those pouches, makeup bags, whatever you want to call them, the everything bag. Those were my popular items, and my cup koozies. And I'll show you why. I've done something a little different. If you can see, I've added a little charm to them, and this is how I packaged them. Now, before, when I've done markets, I did not have them packaged like this, and I did not have a charm on them. And I would just put them in a basket, and then they can choose, right? But I never really sewed as much as I did at this high school bazaar. And so I thought, you know what? It's the packaging. It's the packaging. I created the labels. I put them in the sleeve. I gave it a charm, and people loved that. So, so we have these crocheted little koozies, and in the back, it tells you how to, what they're made of, how to care for it. So care package, how it's made in the back, what size it fits in the front, with a cute little charm. So I've done that, and you can see I have multiple sizes and colors. Let me get this one so you can see. This one has a little dog in its dog house. And then I have one that has a cat. So they have different ones. Now this one has a little cowgirl hat on there because I do have a lot of Western items, horse themed items. And that is because moving from Texas, I already had that inventory, and that's what I sold a lot of in Texas, in Houston particularly. I lived in the north side of Austin, but all my markets were in the north side of Houston. And though that's what people gravitated towards, of course. So I still had a lot of those items, and I was impressed that the high school bazaar, but the end of last year, I participated at a 3-day market, and a lot of those horse items sold. And I was very surprised to see that, but I'm happy that it did sell, because then that means that I'm moving that product. But anyway, so now that I've noticed that people do care about packaging and they do look at packaging, I think it elevates it, right? It looks more professional. So if you're selling items, I suggest you do have, if it's a small item like that, you can put it in a package, or even something that you can put in a package. I suggest that you do that because that's going to bring you sales. So I have, and find something unique that, like I added the charms to the cup koozie. So things like that, right? You could do whatever, however, you want, but I feel like that definitely packaging does make a difference. Now, because I do sell a lot of bowl cozies, like I basically almost sold out the last market. So I still had a lot of materials to make more. So what I'm trying to do is clear that out because I want to make a change in my store. So I want to clear all that, but because I still have a lot of that material, I'm like, okay, let me go ahead and do this. So I just got an invitation to do another market in November. I have one for December already booked. It's a 3-day market. And then I got an invitation to go do a 3-day market in November. And I think I'm going to go for it at a reduced price. So because it is a reduced price, I think that I want to do that. And that market I remember doing last year towards Christmas time, or yeah, it was December time frame. And I broke even because I paid full price for the booth. And that event is not even far from my home. It's probably a 5-minute drive, if at that. So I think that I'm going to go ahead and participate in this market again, even though, I broke even, and that was at the higher price point. I mean, the discount is enormous that I can't refuse it. And it'll help me, move inventory. So because of that, now I've already started prepping for the market in December. Now this one I'm talking about is in November. But because of that, I'm going to have to ramp up my speed because we're already towards the end of July and I can't even believe that. So because of that, I mean, I've already prepped some more bow cozies, and this is quite a bit. And I also have some other items I'm introducing to the shop. And I also, I have a KitchenAid mixer, and it always collects dust. Now I do use it because I do make breads and stuff, but when I'm not using it, it collects dust. So I created a cover for it. I made the pattern for it. No, that's not part of it. Let me go get the template so you can see that. And I probably should have been more prepared, but So here is part of the template. This is what I created. And I'm going to show you that what I'm making for the market right now. It's not completely done, so I just want you to see it. That piece, here, I'll get this one because you can see it better. That piece is the outside of the front. So it'll be like this, and this will be the front that shows from your counter, right? It depends how you have your mixer set on your counter. If you have it face out, this is the part you're going to see, and this covers the body. Now, if you have it this way, this is going to show, right? But this is a reversible one. This thing is reversible. But what I want to talk about is the pattern, and then I'll show you the pieces. So this piece is this here. I created that by just taking measurements. Now I also, and this is just measuring the body or the measuring around the machine from the left side to the right side to get the length. And then I added some inches to it to be able to do that. Now I am in the process of creating a PDF for you guys so that you guys can go ahead and download. I'm also going to do tutorials. So when I do that tutorial on that, I'm going to go ahead and you'll have this pattern for free, probably for the first like 30 days or so. And then it'll be at a low price if I sell it. I mean, because, it will be. And then I created a base, right? So just sort of like a, I don't even know how to say this. So just a base to put underneath the mixer. So because, I mean, I'm only 5 feet tall, and the counters are probably half my size. So when I try to move the mixer, it's heavy. I can't just up and lift it because I'm too small to up and, you know, to lift it. So I have to drag it. So I created another template that goes in the bottom. And this just sits, and I have really pretty fabric. I don't have the fabric in front of me that I made mine with, but I'm gonna show you one that I'm making for the market. And I'm not making a lot because I don't know. This is the first time I'm gonna introduce this product into my market. So those are the two pieces that I created. And then I created, for the bowl, I'm gonna make a cover. I haven't made one for mine yet, but I'm gonna make a cover for the bow that sits underneath. It's already covered, you guys, with this. You really don't need it, but I want it. So I am going to make a cover for my bowl, and I've made the template for that as well. And so, yeah, very easy, just taking measurements and having patience, right? And taking your time. Most of the time I will just buy a pattern, and I'll be honest, I did look online. I went on Etsy to find one, and I found one by Annie, I think it was, and it was like 20 bucks for that pattern. And I thought, you know what, I can just do this myself. Let me just not be lazy and be patient, and let me just do this. So one Sunday I went downstairs and I brought my mixer forward. Actually, I had my husband bring it forward, and I measured it, and I was like, okay, let me get the bowl and measure that. And then I came upstairs and I made a pattern on just paper, and then I tweaked it and put it on cardstock because I wanted to be able to trace it, because I was thinking I could make a few for the market to get rid of material that I just have sitting around, rather than making tons of bowl cozies, because that can get boring. So with this, it is quilted. It does have batting inside, but I think what I want to do is add a stiffer fabric, a stiffer interface for the sides to keep it to stand up like this. Because you don't need to do the whole body. You can if you want to. I mean, I have it lined with batting, but what I'm saying is to have a stronger interface for the sides, because just having the sides will literally hold the whole body up. So that's what I'm going to do. That is why I haven't closed it up. But so this is going to be a reversible type of cover. Now, the one I made, it is also reversible, but I made it differently from this one. And I don't have a picture, or else I would show you. But what it does is I went ahead and I added binding all the way around. And I have a blue, so because my kitchen is blue. I love blue. And so it's blue and yellow. And so I added a dark blue trim or bias binding around the front and at the bottom, and the fabric that I chose had flowers on it, and it's sort of like a cream with the blue, almost like a vintage Victorian color, or not color but pattern. And so I added that binding to give it to make it stand out more. So it helped with it keeping it up like this, right? Because that binding, I mean, it'll stay, but I want it to be sturdier. See how it's just standing? It'll stay up, but I want it to be sturdy, especially if I'm going to sell it. So I'm going to add interfacing to the sides on both of them, because that's going to give it that strength. And then I'm going to sew them together. But so this is going to be the lining, but again, it is reversible. And then this is going to be the outside. So here's the body, and then you see how I use the contrasting fabric for the front. So if you don't want this for the front, you can change it up and have this, or change it up either way. But that's how this is going to be, and this is going to be reversible. So I will finish that today, because all I'm going to do is add the interfacing to the sides, and then I just have to close it up, and then we're good to go. We'll have one set. Now I do have some more fabric over here that I'm going to do that with, and I feel like that one's going to be the hot seller. And let me show you. And the reason why I say that is because this is really nice fabric, and it's discontinued. I can't even find it anywhere. So there's a quilt shop not too far from where I live, and I went in there looking for something because I was making myself something, and I thought, let me look at fabric. And so I was looking at the fabric and I saw this in the clearance area. So this little particular quilting shop is kind of expensive. So I only got a yard. And then I went online to see if I can find it anywhere else. And unfortunately, it's discontinued. So it is this. And you can see that it has birds. Really pretty. I mean, probably the camera's not doing it justice. But there's birds and roses and flowers. And it's just, it looks good. And I have this for the lining. And I feel like those two paired together is really nice. Initially, so I did go back and buy the rest of that bolt. So when I found this fabric, it had been 2 weeks 2 weeks had gone by, and I thought, oh, no one's gonna buy it because it's in the clearance and probably no one likes this. You know, I'm thinking this because it was a full bolt, and I was gonna go back and buy it, and I was gonna make a quilt. And just quilt it as is, right? I was gonna quilt it as is, and I found this one I was able to find online, so I did buy more of, but not this one. So this one, I initially, like I said, I bought a yard, and then I went back, and then there was only a little over 2 yards left, and it was a full bolt, and I'm like, oh man, I knew I should have came back, but I had other things going on, so I wasn't able to go back and get more. So there's that, but I think this one is going to be a seller just because of the pattern. Like I said, right now, probably looking on camera, it looks like a hot mess, but it's not. I'm telling you, there's little birds and roses and different flowers, and it's a really pretty fabric. It looks vintage. So anyway, there's that. That is what I'm gonna put together, and I'm gonna make myself that because I think that you know, I like to change up my kitchen and my living room, my home, the decor, the colors. Right now I have blue and yellow because I always love blue, but I feel like I need to change it up. And I was gonna do red, and I was gonna make the pot holders and everything to go with it, right? So we'll see. Now the one I did make, I do have the fabric, so I can show you. This is easily, you know, I mean, I like it. So the lining is this one, and the outer is this one. And so, and it had I put the darker blue than that as the bias binding. And so it really gives it that pop, and it kind of breaks it up. And I did the same concept as I did here, and it looks really, really nice. So I might make one, since I might have enough for one more. So I think that I might make one as just like the one I have. So I'll do a red one, that one, and this one. I'm only gonna take, maybe I'll do one more. Maybe I'll do 4. That way, there'll be options in case someone else wants, and if it doesn't sell, then I can always keep it for myself because I like all these fabrics, right? So yeah, so that is the KitchenAid mixer, the cake mixer bowl, and the stand. I've got lint everywhere. So that's what that is. So I've been working on this. This will be finished today. And then I'm going to start quilting all these pieces onto the cotton because that takes the longest. And I do match my threads, you guys. I'm not one that does white on everything. No, I match my thread. So if it like this, you can't tell it's quilted because it has the same color. And you can't really tell this is quilted because it has the same color. Until you look at it closely, then you see the quilting. But that is what I'm talking about. Like I really pay attention to those things, and I feel like people do too. So this is quilting. It has the same color, and I mean, I wouldn't want it with an all white, you know, no. So yeah, and I think I'm rambling on that. So let's go ahead, let's move along. So I've got all of these that I still need to make, and I'm thinking of, I'm not making any more makeup bags or pouches or anything like that, or totes, because that doesn't really, well, I guess it depends on the market. And I'm not crocheting a whole lot of like those little stuffed animals. I can't even say it. But I'm not crocheting those anymore because I'm gonna partner up with my granddaughter, and she is making those, and so we'll be doing shows together in Texas. So yeah, I'm gonna move this over just a little bit because it's kind of in my way. You're standing on something. So yeah, so I am gonna be doing that, and I feel like I'm gonna let her be you know, the star of that. And then I do want to change up my store. Like I mentioned, and I have little by little incorporating things. If you go online to my store, you'll see that I do have a sale going on all the sweatshirts and the t-shirts. So the sweatshirts, if you buy one, you'll get the second one half off, and the t-shirts are reduced price. So you might want to take advantage of that. I do have like a lot of holiday themed items on there. So if that's something that you're wanting, you know, you might want to go ahead and scoop that up. Same thing with the crochet stuff. I'm not going to be doing it other than like things like this. I will, but not the stuff, little animals and stuff like that. Okay, let's see. Let's move on. Like I said, I have 2 shows coming up. I think I'm going to go ahead and participate in the November one and then the December one. And it seems like those are the only shows that I'm able to get into. I've been trying to get into like the spring shows, the spring markets. I say show, but markets. And I'm always no or put on the wait list. And it's like, wow, when do I get that chance, right? When do I get that chance? My glow up time, my glow up chance. When do I get that? But anyways, I'm happy to do the market, the seasonal markets. Anyways, I feel like the last one I did last year, the end of last year, I did really well. So I'm pretty sure I'm gonna do really well this time because I'm adding different things too. So we'll see. I might even offer gift wrapping. I'm gonna do a bundle because as you can tell, I have, like I said, I have a lot of the Texas or horse themed, you know, country thing with the hats and stuff. And I may do a bundle with like a sweatshirt and maybe a notepad and a cup cozy and an ice cream cozy that all match together. And a makeup bag, whatever bag, you know, those bags. So I may do a bundle on all of that and reduce that price. So I may get like a basket or a box or something. I don't know yet. I'm thinking a basket, but it's so hard to find like a large quantity of them, or maybe like even if I got four of them, right, of the same kind of basket to be able to arrange that in, because I think that would make a good gift. But we'll see how I come up, what idea I come up with that. But I am, since I'm, I have to basically I have to step up my pep on this prepping because I have a lot to do and I'm only one person. I do have a regular 9-to-5 job. I do have to clean my house and exercise and cook and take care of my puppy. So I do have a lot going on. So I am going to scale back on something, but these things need to get done so that I can make more things. I am going to offer different sizes in these. These are basically like, this fits I think a 9x9 pan, a baking pan, or a loaf, where you bake a loaf of bread, that, or like a loaf, like a banana nut loaf, right? So this would fit that pan. So it's almost like a koozie for that. And then we got more bowl cozies, and I have already made some, so those are already in the inventory room. So that's accounted for. And this is stuff that I need to do. And so I'm just kind of slowly getting things done. But like I said, I'm also using scraps to make jar grippers and coasters. Because the last time I was there, people asked for fabric coasters. And I was like, oh, that's interesting. Like, I never thought to make them. So this time around, I've already got those prepped. And I'm doing something different to mine. And so I'm waiting to do those. But that's going to be done hopefully this weekend. All of the coasters will be done by Sunday, and hopefully all of this will be quilted by, what's today, Tuesday? By Friday or Saturday the latest. These will all be quilted, and then I can start putting them together because I like to do things in batches. So I'll quilt everything in a batch. So I'll put everything like it's one color thread. Like say if it's blue, I'll put all the blue together and I'll quilt it all, and then I'll put all the green together and quilt it all the white and quilt it all. And then I go back and put them together, and it doesn't matter what thread I use in the inside because no one's going to see that. But then when I'm ready to do the outside, I change. So I'll have a different color bobbin thread and a different thread at top. I just feel like it elevates the look of the item that you're making. And it looks like you pay attention to it, right? It looks like you put the effort into making the thing you're trying to sell, is what I'm trying to say. All right, let's move along. Let's talk about Shopify. So I recently had a ton of orders on Shopify. I was so excited. I was like, oh my God, look at all these orders. And then I go on there, and Shopify has this thing where if it's a fraud, it'll alert it and then it won't let it process, right? But you looks like you have orders, but you don't, because when you go log in, Shopify's like, oh, just kidding. They're fraudulent. Don't worry about it. I've already taken care of it. Some of them, if they're high, right? If they're marked high threat, then Shopify takes care of it. But the medium, the low to medium, Shopify doesn't. So what you can do is open that up and it gives you the details. So I had a lot that were, the person was located, or the IP address was located in London, and the credit card address was in New York, and they were purchasing from London. So I just immediately refunded all of them because I did not want to get caught up in any kind of fraudulent thing. So I went ahead and just like canceled the order, and it refunds it, right? It clears it out. It doesn't refund it. It doesn't process it, is what I should say. So it just cancels the order out. So I don't know if you've encountered any of that with Shopify, but that's what I've been encountering a lot with Shopify. And it's annoying because I tell you that in one day I thought I had like 30 something orders, and I didn't. It was all fraud. And I was just like, oh my God, this is annoying, because you know, you go in and you log in, you're excited, and it's an emotional, it's a killer. It's an emotional killer. But anyways, so I don't know if you've encountered that, and if so, what did you do to help prevent it from always happening? Like, I know I made some changes to where instead of, you have to manually key your card number in now. It doesn't just, if you have it saved on your laptop or whatever, it's not going to pick it up, because I felt that if you have to manually key things in, a scammer isn't going to take time to do that. And that has helped it. And this was all like in June, all in May and June, I was getting all of these, and at a time, 30 plus orders at a time. And so it looked like I had a bunch of sales when I didn't. And so now that we're in July, that I'm thinking about it, I have not received a fraudulent order. And it could be because of the changes I made, or maybe Shopify did something in their back end. I don't know. But let me know if have your own online store, if you use Shopify. Is that something that you encounter, or have you encountered? I used to use Squarespace, and I was thinking is going back to Squarespace because of I never had those issues with Squarespace, and for some reason I received more orders with Squarespace than I have with Shopify, and I don't know why, the difference. I really don't. Since I made the change, my sales have gone down. But when I was with Squarespace, I was getting like a lot of orders, and those were not fraudulent orders. So I don't know why. I can't even tell you why, but so that's something that I might look into come, maybe November, so that way I can cancel it, it'll end at the end of December, and I can just start new with Squarespace. Or I can actually do it now, but because I'm going to be doing these holiday things, and I already have my card to, I don't know. Maybe I'll do it sooner, because I think I can just use my same web address and just move it over to Squarespace. I don't know. We'll see. And Squarespace was a much easier platform to use. Not that Shopify is hard. It's not. But it was easier for me to do a lot of different things that I like to do. Versus Shopify. It's been a little bit not challenging, but it's like, where is this at? Because they have so many drop downs and so many things that you have to add on for it to do the things that you wanted. Like I had to add a shop. Well, I did the shopping cart ad. I had to add on the shopping cart so you can add the items in, so you could check out, which I didn't know in the beginning, because Squarespace, you didn't have to do that. And then the add to cart, the button to add to the cart, that one I did. I had to add the checkout cart app, the add to the cart app Like there's always an app for something on Shopify where I felt like, and Squarespace, it was just all there. Like here it is, this is how it's built, and this is how you use it. Where in Shopify, it's like, oh, you want to use that? Oh, here, you need to add an app, and you may have to pay for this app, you know? So I just feel like there's too much add-ons with Shopify. Not, you know, and it's, right now it's working, it's good. I like the fact that it did catch the fraudulent orders, but at the same time, what has Shopify done in the back end to prevent those from even happening at all? Like I said, I never had fraudulent orders when I was on Squarespace. It was just you bought it, checked out, and that was it, right? And they were legit people. And I did like that. And I also noticed with Shopify, I do have like, hey, you forgot something in your cart, or hey, leave me a review. And I tested it myself, acting like a customer, and I did not receive the emails, but in Shopify, it shows that it's active. So I don't know. And that's not a big deal, but at the same time, I want to remind customers that they have something in the cart. And also I noticed, I don't know, maybe there is a way in Shopify where you can add something like a discount. Well, you can add the discount, but just to automatic, when you put the product in there, it shows a discount without having to add a code. I haven't really looked into that, but I noticed when I created a code to do the discount, I had, or created the discount, I had to add a code to it. And I wanted it to just be automatic. I wanted it to be that discount where you set the rule up, and then if you add something in the cart, it'll give you, whether like the sweatshirts, I have 50% off. You have to put the code in there. So I had to put a banner in the front of my page with that code, but if you don't look for it, you're not going to see it. And so then you probably don't know that you need that code to add into the code section for that discount. And that's the other thing I don't like, is that the banner is like this small on the website. And I'm just like, well, how do people even see this, right? So I don't know, I'm trying to figure out a way. And that's on the free platform. Maybe on the paid version, it's different. But I don't remember having those issues with Squarespace. So I'm just weighing my pros and cons on what I'm going to do and how I'm going to move forward with that. So anyways, that's all I have for you. Let me know in the comments below, are you prepping for markets coming up? Have you had those fraudulent orders on Shopify? If you're on Shopify, or if you're on a different platform, have you experienced that? And know that, you know, packaging makes a difference, you guys. It attracts the customers. So yeah, it is money. It's time. It takes a lot of time to create these packaging, you know, these I don't know, packaging band, I'm going to call it. I don't know what to call it. It takes a lot of time to create it, to make the size right, to make it all fit together, and to be able to fit and to find clear packaging to put it in, right? Now, I don't have to put it in a clear packaging. If I, you know, I could just put that little band on it and that's it. But I think it looks a little bit better with it. And then it actually can just sit easily also in whatever, if I have it in a basket or wherever I have it, it sits easily. And also not everybody can touch it, you know, and so, because this goes around your drink. And you know, I don't know, I personally don't want something everybody is touching. So anyways, that's all I have for you today. I know this is a long, chatty video. I am going to do a tutorial on the KitchenAid mixer. And I'm currently working on getting the pattern into a PDF format so that you can print it at home, and that way you can follow along with that pattern, and it will be free for a short period of time. But yeah, that's all I have for you. I hope you enjoyed the video. Let me know in the comments below what, you know, how you're prepping, again, about what platform you're on, and if you experienced this fraudulent orders and how that platform handled it, or if you even knew that it happened.